NFTs and Blockchains. This could be the next big step in the games industry, and it's a change that a lot of people aren't too happy about. That said, there's also a possibility, although at this point I think it's a remote possibility, that NFTs are just a fad. Whatever way you look at it though, right now at this moment, at this point of time in 2021, NFTs are making a crap ton of money for a lot of people. Star Atlas then is perhaps one of the more visible blockchain projects. The plan for the game, built in Unreal Engine 5, is an ambitious space MMO on the scale to rival Star Citizen. Here, players will be able to own ships, walk around inside of them, and travel to the far reaches of space. At its core, it is claimed to be a grand strategy game with trade, politics, and a functioning economy. There's also a few visually impressive trailers out there. You can see that on the screen right now. In fact, that was supposedly a gameplay video, and just look at the comments on that video. If you go and click on the link to it, the official video that is, you'll notice that not too many people agree that it is gameplay. But yeah, we'll come back to that in just a bit. Now obviously, Star Atlas is a very controversial project. In fact, it's so controversial that some people believe that videos like this one shouldn't even be made. That simply, by me making this video, I'm bringing additional attention to the game and helping to spread what some people believe to be a huge scam. Scam or not though, this channel is about space games and it's about the gaming industry, and Star Atlas does fit into both of those. So as far as I see it, it's entirely appropriate for me to talk about Star Atlas. That said, there's a ton of caveats and plenty of warning signs. As with Earth 2, a similar blockchain project, there are a lot of YouTubers out there who outrightly are calling both of these games a scam. Take a look at the links in the video description for more on that front. Now, talking of warning signs, perhaps one of the things that most people believe is a warning sign is the nature of NFTs themselves. Non-fungible tokens then are a form of digital ownership over a particular item. Digital ownership there being put in quotes somewhat, as it's something that at some point will need to be legally tested, I do believe. But regardless of their legal status, NFTs have been selling for tens of thousands of dollars, and in some cases even millions of dollars. Snoop Dogg recently announced that he would be joining the metaverse world called The Sandbox. The about page for the game states, The Sandbox is a community-driven platform where creators can monetize voxel assets and gaming experiences on the blockchain. Snoop Dogg then is planning to build his own community within the game. On the back of this news, someone paid $450,000 in real-world cash to be Snoop Dogg's virtual neighbor. Yeah, that's a lot of money, right? Now, The Sandbox has a large interactable map on its website from which you can purchase land and I believe other assets. You can see some of that on the screen here. Meanwhile, the game is also playable. Additionally, an NFT yacht has recently been sold for $650,000, also in The Sandbox. The Opensea website lists all of these things, such as the other available NFTs, along with their respective prices. Again, the link for that can be found below. Additionally, in another metaverse world called Decentraland Metaverse, a small plot of virtual land has sold for $2.43 million. Yes, that's real-world money. And elsewhere again, Peter Molyneux generated $50 million in around 1 week on his newly announced NFT game, Legacy. So is it really any wonder that NFT and blockchain games have attracted the attention of big business? Right now though, there's still a lot of people that are extremely cautious about NFTs, and rightly so. Xbox head Phil Spencer is one such person that has expressed doubts about blockchain and NFTs. In 2021, he told Axios, "What I say today on NFT, all up, is and I think there's a lot of speculation and experiments that's happening, and that some of the creative that I see today feels more exploitive than about entertainment." Spencer did have more to say on NFTs, and you can find the link to Axios below. Meanwhile, Valve has banned all blockchain and NFT games from the Steam store, and that based on their unwillingness to sell items with real-world value. But on the other end of the spectrum, Epic have said that they are open to the possibility of such games on their store, whilst Ubisoft are forging ahead with their Quartz platform built upon the idea of selling NFTs. Additionally, both EA and Take-Two have also expressed interest in creating their own NFT ventures. So regardless of the collective sentiment out there amongst some quarters about NFT and blockchain-based games, some companies and businesses are moving ahead nonetheless. That means that Star Atlas is far from unique in terms of its business model. It certainly isn't a niche though with the type of game that it supposedly wants to create. The Star Atlas website has an impressive looking presentation for what the game will be about, with somewhat interactive displays on what the depths of its universe will offer to players. The CGI traders also look impressive for Star Atlas, but show absolutely nothing about gameplay. And that brings us to the newly released gameplay video that you saw at the beginning of this video. This shows a clip of a spaceship arriving in a hangar. Does anyone really believe that this is gameplay lifted from the game? It's not what I would personally constitute as a gameplay demonstration, and apparently plenty of people would agree with that. You just have to look at the official video there on Star Atlas and you'll see plenty of people saying the same thing. Clearly the developers of Star Atlas though do believe that this is a gameplay demonstration, and well, there's no way of really knowing whether or not this was lifted directly from the game that they have in development, or whether it was just a showcase demo created in Unreal Engine 5. It's going to be a speculation either way, but if it was just a creative demo, then well, that wouldn't take too long to create, would it, all in all? Now, one thing that seems clear to me about all the NFTs mentioned in this video so far is that they are all about selling an idea. The better the idea presented, the more visually interesting it is, the more likely that it will have success. It's all about selling wishes and dreams. And I think it's well accepted by now that there is a huge pent-up demand for a successful, ambitious space game. Star Atlas likely fits that demand for some people, and at least a few are willing to spend big money on it. But of course, the other factor here is that NFT-based games aren't just attracting gamers. They're also attracting investors and other people that want to make a profit, and that goes back to the speculation that I believe Phil Spencer was referring to. People are speculating with their money here, hoping to earn back a big chunk of profit. Those type of people then almost certainly don't care about things such as gameplay, immersion, interactivity, or anything else game-related. They just want to grow their money. In my opinion, that is very shaky ground for anyone to build a new game upon. It means that the design focus for the game is in all the wrong places. And really, you only have to look at the Star Atlas marketplace to see that this just might be the case. And if you do check out that marketplace, you will likely find it quite hard to judge the gameplay value of any of the items there. Sure, you're bound to see their value in terms of cash, but what effect, what impact do they have on the game itself, or the game whenever it arrives at some point in the future? Now, looking at the website for Star Atlas, the news page that is, you can see, you'll notice that as of this recording, that hasn't been updated since the 2nd of November. The last update discussed the ability to buy NFTs with the newly created Atlas coin. This formed the expansion of the game's marketplace and also launched 4 new spaceships. Of course, these spaceships don't exist yet, but they do have stats, images, and information on the roles they perform. And you'll find that these are now selling anywhere between a few $100s up to multiple thousands of dollars. The update on the 26th of October, meanwhile, was a bit of fiction, discussing the possibilities of potential gameplay. Of course, the story heavily focused on the use of Atlas currency and NFTs. The update prior to that discussed another part of the game, and let's read an extract. So it says, builders are the innovative power of Star Atlas. The builders of Star Atlas produce goods and improve technology. You'll work and trade with extractors and refiners who supply natural resources, all represented by NFTs. For your R&D and production processes to take place on the available land parcels. Depending on how you calibrate your skills, you may improve your crafting speed, elevate recipe potency, or reduce resource wastage. Mixing and matching these traits will give you an edge while you hone your specialization. Whether you're crafting new goods and technologies or producing structures for the denizens of Star Atlas, you'll need Atlas, the main in-game currency. Since everything you make is represented by an NFT, your creations can be traded for Atlas or other in-game items too. And that really is pretty much how it goes on right across the news updates pages. Now time will tell where Star Atlas ultimately heads. So it's very clear then, even with a cursory glance, that long-time gamers are extremely resistant to NFTs. The backlash against Ubisoft and their Quartz platform is just one example among many. However, it's also equally clear that there are plenty of people out there willing to dedicate many thousands of dollars to NFT games. Does this mean that NFT games will be successful and ultimately deliver on their ambitions? Well, for some of them, maybe. For others, they are an old possibility scams in one form or another. And that really does leave gamers in a somewhat precarious position. Regardless of whether, as gamers, we like it or hate it, one thing is very clear. The idea of a metaverse, blockchain and NFT games is taking root, and it's making huge volumes of cash. Perhaps more to the point, some very big players are investing massive sums of money and resources to make all of this a reality. It could just be that even if we believe this all to be a fad, that these big players will manifest it into reality regardless. Do let me know in the comment section below what you feel about all of this. Do you like the idea of what Star Atlas represents? Or, on a broader note, what do you feel about blockchain and NFT-based games in general? I'd love to hear from you, do let me know. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys and girls next time.